Sup. We are live 8 minutes early. Let's just play this back.
Gang like there you go. Faded wide, one eye through the quick scope. Camouflage crew looking like a freak show. We don't play fair, we the cheat code. 3, 2, 1, going wild with the hits. Infinite flow, feel like Barry Bonds with the hits. Who you talking to? You know I'm going down with the shit. Take the crown from the king, put it right on my head. Got eyes on the turn. Get a taste of the paranoid. I'm down, I'm down, I'm down, I'm down, I'm down. If you ready for it. And it takes you. Get a taste of the paranoia. So down if you ready for it. Whole squad off the leash, and we all kill a feast. Never take L's, all love for the team. Make room for the beast. Whole squad off the leash, and we all kill a feast. Never take L's, all love for the team. Make room for the beast. Make room for the. 3, 2, 1, going wild. Talking to you know I'm going wild. 3, 2, 1, going wild with the hits. Infinite flow, feel like Barry Bonds with the hits. Who you talking to? You know I'm going down with the shit. Took the crown from the king, put it right on my head. Got eyes on the turn. Get a taste of the paranoia. I'm down, everybody for you. So down to be ready for it. Down to be ready for it. Whole squad off the leash, and we all kill a feast. Never take L's, all love for the team. Make room for the beast. Whole squad off the leash, and we all kill a feast. Never take L's, all love for the team. Make room for the beast. Make room for the beast. Make room for the beast. Yeah. Going wild in this.
Alright, this is a track I did with the co-writer Jay and an artist Thutmose. Kind of made this for Call of Duty vibes. Hence the lyrics, whole squad off the leash. And I thought I'd just play this back before we actually get started building this. Hold on, you gotta see this here. Boom. The NTS-2, which I am super excited to build. I ordered this probably back in December. So we're gonna put this together and hook it up to the modular setup, see how it goes. But in the meantime, let's just dive in a little on this track, see what's going on. I think I want to break down this middle section. It's probably one of the coolest parts.
3, 2, 1, going wild with the hits. Infinite flow, feel like Barry Bonds with the hits. Who you talking to? You know I'm going.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, going wild. Who you talking to? You know I'm going wild. 3, 2, 1, going wild with the hits.
Now, what's interesting about this is it's very minimal. There's not much going on. There's drum beat. Extra kicks, that's really it. And then a bass. Bring those drums back in. That's one of the coolest parts of the song, honestly, because it's so simple. It's just drums, 808, and vocals, and then obviously there's some trailer drums that come in. But yeah, dope track. I always play this as the stream starting soon song, so thought I'd just show the session.
Pull out with the gang like there you go. Faded wide, one eye through the quick scope. Camouflage crew looking like a freak show. We don't play fair, we the cheat code. 3, 2, 1, going wild with the hits. In fan floor, feel like Barry Bonds with the hits. Who you talking to? You know I'm going down with the shit. Take the crown from the king, put it right on my head. Got eyes in the territory, got a taste of the parallel. I'm down, I'm down.
You gotta hear the organs. And horns.
So down to be ready for it. Whole squad off the leash, and we all came to feast. Never take L's or dub for the team. Make room for the beast. Whole squad off the leash, and we all came to feast. Never take L's or dub for the team. Make room for the beast. Make room for the. Make room for the. 3, 2, 1, going wild. Oh yeah. Got eyes in the territory. Get a chance of the paranoia. I'm down every.
That little horn right there, though. So
I'm down to be ready for it. Ready for it, ready for it. So down to be ready for it. Down to be ready for it.
all right, it's 12:30. So welcome to the stream. Today we are going to be building the Korg NTS-2. Boom. Sorry for the low quality camera. My other camera decided to not connect, so we're rocking the webcam. And we have an overhead here so we can actually put it together and build this thing live. I'm super, super pumped to build this. It comes with an awesome book that shows you how to patch different things together from Korg, which is really rad. And on top of that, we are going to connect it to the modular setup afterwards and just see what the oscilloscopes look like. So that's the plan here. I'm hanging out, talking about music, talking about sessions, talking about modular and Euro rack and everything that's going on back there. And this is going to be a fun little thing to build live. So it's 12:30. Let's do the thing. Start by opening this thing up. There's the book. Might as well check it out one step at a time here. No. We need the Big Idea Design titanium cutter tool. I think, as everyone else said, this would be a great coffee table book. Put that down over yonder. Let's just see what this is about. Cool. Signal flow, patching, shows you everything about the actual unit. I love these little NTS units. I have the NTS-1 over there, and I actually use it as an effects module for all the Eurorack stuff, and it really sounds great, all the reverbs and delays. I do wish you could sync the delays. That's kind of a bummer. But these are really cool little kind of build-it-yourself modules. This is interesting. I'm stoked to read this. Or leave it on the coffee table. One of the two. All right, so that's the book that comes with it. Patch and tweak with Korg. It's really nice. And for the main event, it is actually a really cool little book. Look at all of this. I need to move some stuff out of the way here. Oh, it comes with a little tiny screwdriver. Just a little baby screwdriver. It's pretty much already built for you, so there's really not that much that you have to do. You know, you're not soldering or anything like that. This isn't as... If anyone caught the last live stream where I took a tuner and soldered some cables to it, it's nothing like that. Which that tuner is still in play. And still works great. All right. So, looks like these are all the inputs and outputs that go on the back. Look at this. I'm assuming that we're going to snap these off. I'm glad they put a little peely on the screen because I already put fingerprints on it. Yeah, I think that we're going to snap these off. Oh, and it takes batteries too. That's awesome. And USB cable, 1/8 inch cable. These look like all the little ends. I actually didn't build my NTS-1. I bought it already built, so I've never done this before. Holy screws. Little feet. Wow. All right. I need to organize all of these. At least a little bit. Just for my own sanity here. Alrighty. Screws are organized. We're going to do the thing that I never do, which is read the manual. So not this one. Aha! Boom, boom, boom. All right. As assumed, all these little pieces break off. I don't know, that's a little scary. It's a little scary. That's what has to happen. This is what has to happen. Okay. You have to watch out for the display. Just gonna leave that there for a second. and double, triple, quadruple check. Yeah, according to the diagram, we should just be snapping this thing in half. So, try it on something small first, like these little guys. Okay, that broke nicely. And then now maybe we'll move to this. Let's just see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little. I feel like I'm going to snap this thing in half. All right. I guess that's how you do it. This is going to be a nightmare to break in half without snapping these. There we go. Whew. That was a little scary. I'm not going to lie. You know, I'm not trying to break this thing. What's interesting is when you're doing it, you can hear it like. So we're going to kind of do the same here. And all right. Not as bad as I thought. But that's done. So, you know, I would play music in the background, but last time I live streamed, every song I played, even my own songs, got taken down. So, it's going to be silent. All right, we got everything apart. Boom, boom, boom. We need all these little guys. We got this, we got this. That's where the little feet go. Those are the little said feet. Aha. E. So these we need to break off here. Boom. What a cool little thing, you know, especially if you're not into or haven't like soldered or done any of that before. This is a really cool way to kind of get into building little electronics. Just to be clear, they didn't send me this. Your boy paid for it. All right. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to step 2, where we are now going to put all of this together. So it looks like we're going to use these guys. Oh, and then here's the little metal plates. So let's scrap that. Any direction here? No direction. So seems like it doesn't really make a difference. Something like that, a general idea. And this is going to go here and here. And then we will put a screw to hold all of that together. So you actually build it from the bottom side first. And we're going to use these guys. All right. So let's start with this. This is hilarious. I just can't with this tiny little screwdriver. We're going to use something a little better. There we go. Okay. Screw goes in. And let's just tighten this down a little bit. We'll wait on that. Another cool thing about this is it's not necessarily just for Eurorack. So if you just want to explore sound and see what it is you're making, you can run this right out of your headphone port, plug it in, and look at the oscilloscope to, see how FM affects an oscillator. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with this, and it also has a built-in tuner, which I'm pretty stoked on. So that's going to be great for the Eurorack setup, even though I did build the other tuner. But still going to be nice to have. I gotta admit, it was a little scary breaking that thing apart. All right, we got that. Supposed to put these little feet on. Let my OCD get the best of me here. Boom. What a fun little thing to build. All right, got that. Let's see what's next here. We're gonna need these. One goes on each side. But it looks like these just actually slide in here. Like that. So you're pretty much building the base around all this. And then you use these really long little screws, and I can't with the tiny screwdriver. I brought extras. All right, the Korg tuner. What's up? Solid question. You definitely don't need it. I mean, a machine and a MIDI keyboard is solid. I like to use this. I should have explained a little more in that short. To to be honest. I had a few questions on that. And I like to use this just to basically see what key certain samples are in. Most of the time samples are tagged with key, and I've definitely gotten a lot better at being able to just listen. But sometimes I'm just totally lost and don't know what key it is. So I use this little Korg tuner here on the desk just to basically play the sample back and see what key it is. I will actually give you an example right now. Let's just move this for a second. So I'll turn this guy on and let's go to Logic. This is literally what I use it for. So I can just play different notes. And there's a couple different modes too on it, which is pretty cool depending on how detailed you want it to get. Let's play a different instrument. So again, that's all I use it for, is literally just for being able to check samples if I don't know what key they are in. Don't have to have it. I wish Machine had a built-in tuner. That's my one gripe. There is a tuner in Guitar Rig that you can use, but that's literally all I use it for. Just sits here on my desk so I can check samples. Absolutely. Okay, part of me is wondering if these screws, they're so long, if they're supposed to go in first, or let's just keep trekking along here. I got a cool little patch set up on the modular rig that I'm excited to explore with this. You know, so the Eurorack stuff, it's something I've always wanted to get into, but it's also kind of terrifying. You know, when you see it, it's just, where do you even begin? And I actually got started using Reactor. In Reactor, you can like set up different modules, and it's really, really cool. And it's totally free, so you can get in there and set up oscillators and then figure out how to wire that to an amplifier, and then how to put a envelope in between. And that kind of gave me the itch on the Eurorack stuff. And now just taking it one module at a time, and there's so much out there, and I'm by all means still very new to it, but it's a lot of fun exploring sound, and just again taking it one module at a time, taking an oscillator, adding another oscillator, running that to a mixer, and then running it to an amplifier, and then setting up an envelope in between to control the amplifier, then running that to a sequencer. And it seems like a lot at first, but again, just taking it one module at a time has really been great. And yeah, I'm excited to make some cool sounds, and also to use also to use Eurorack in more than just creating bleeps and bloops, but actually using it in production and modern production. And I'm excited to make some videos showing how I make a sound, sample it into the computer, and then tweak that sound to put it inside of an actual production. So yeah, pretty pumped on that. All right, let's see here. We got the post on, we got the sides on. Boom, boom. What is next? It looks like these guys go on last. So we've got it flipped over. Let's follow the diagram. This little guy gets plugged in here. Can only go in one way. And what happens with this? Is this okay? So this is gonna gonna drive me nuts. Yes to the sample speed. Um, the workaround for that is using the audio engine instead of the sampler. That's probably the best way to do it is take a sample and then switch it from sampler to audio engine. But then the only problem with that is you don't really have the freedom to chop it up. So what you could do is you could always put it in the sampler and then from there set the actual tempo of it. You would hit stretch, and then once it's stretched, you could then chop it up. But you still have to you have to find the tempo. It's kind of a nightmare. But the audio engine's really cool because you could set it to gate mode and trigger different parts of it. But it's always going to play through one loop, if that makes sense. So the sampler, I agree. They could upgrade the sampler a little bit. All right, it's kind of strange to me that there's no, this guy just plugs in here. I guess what's going to hold it in place is this when it's on the back. So, cool. Easy. So we're just going to plug this guy in. Probably just leave it in there, honestly. Let's do it this way. All right, got that plugged in. All right, this was a lot. Once I had them snapped off, this was a lot easier to build than I thought. So we got that. Now we're going to use these screws here and put them back in the post. I think the sampler has to do with like specific time stretch algorithms. Just like when you use Logic, if you use Logic, there's time stretch algorithms and different ones kind of affect the sound tonally. So for instance, there's a rhythmic time stretch algorithm that's great for drums, but sounds awful on vocals. So I think they'd end up having to put a lot of work into the sampler to make it so the playback speed would stay the same, but the pitch would change. I hope, if that's helpful. But yeah, unsure on what's going to happen with the machine sampler. I think one thing to do is actually try to use it to your advantage because it is limiting. I think there are some ways to trigger higher pitch samples, or I should do a video on this on the what is the deal with this screw here, because one thing that you can do is you could basically, and this is how I chop up samples, I'll have a loop and I'll sample it so each slice of the loop is on one pad, and then from there you can actually adjust the sample. So what you could technically do is sample each one to each pad and then slow the ones that you've transposed to higher pitches down, or the ones to lower pitches up, so it's close. That would probably be the workaround for sampling in that situation. I should do a video on sampling with machine, because I think there's so many ways to use it as a sampler. All right, part of me is questioning where these little guys go, or these little guys. Ah, I see. It's page 2. I think I bent this a little when I was trying to, yeah. See? Ah, it's like PCB board though, so it's easily bendable. This is a cool little, I'm stoked on this little thing. Yes, I will put something together for a sampling video. Again, because just like you said, I think there's a lot of different ways to sample with Machine. There's a lot of different ways that people do it. So maybe like 3 ways to sample with Machine. And it could be a mix of using the audio engine and slicing samples, put them to single pads. Because, you know, one way to sample is when you apply the sample to one pad, it puts all the samples down at like negative C2 or something. And that just drives me up the wall. So that's normally why when I'm slicing a sample, I'll then select single and apply each sample to a pad within a group. Just gives you a little bit more control because then you can also apply different effects to each slice of the sample. But it all depends on how you want to go about it, honestly. There's so many different ways. Question is, did I bend this one too? No, this one's okay. So this is how this holds this in place. Got it. That is cool. That's dope. I hope these are extra screws. Let me make sure those are extra screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, we're good. We're chilling. I know the anticipation of let's turn this thing on already. I'm gonna have to move the overhead. Look at that. All right, let me just do a quick little tighten on all these. Okay. There it is. There are these little feet that you can attach, or pegs, which are kind of cool. I don't know. Hold for a second. I hate to do this, but I think we need to attach them. All right. We'll attach these later. Let's get this thing on. It's like that new Apple product feeling. For right now, we're just going to use the batteries. Boom. So if you want to use these little guys, basically, you take the spacers and according to the directions here, you can apply these little spacers in between up here like that. Then you put, oh, we did forget a screw. Like that, and then these go here like that. So we did forget one little screw. Boom. All right. Now it's all together. Let's turn it on. Look at that. I have no idea how to use this. So we're going to plug it in and find out. All right, let me move the camera over. Sorry for the craziness there. That should do it. So let's check this thing out now. So we have audio coming in. Let's just make sure. Okay, let's patch in. So we have 1 and 2 inputs. They're stereo inputs, so you can actually do 4 waveforms at one time. And let's just check out what this looks like. I'm just going to go. Let's just go multiple out into an input and see what happens. This is coming from here, that's off, so let's play. Look at that. That is dope. This little tuner. So I want to know, how do you adjust the input volume? These are your 4 waves. Let's just turn this down for now. We're just going into multiple. just go out of an output. I'm gonna hold for a second. We're going 1, 2. This output is going up. Ah, I see. So your vertical and horizontal inputs are right. These are your vertical and horizontal inputs. So that adjusts the gain basically. And then if you go horizontal, you can zoom in or out to see the wave. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now that I know that. Add in a sine wave. Could probably barely hear that. There you go. Very cool. So let's just simplify this and go directly out of an oscillator. There you go. And then you could see the wave type. Right now I'm on a sine wave. Wow. There's like almost no latency. It's really impressive. Square wave. Inverted. That's crazy. So we have all this going in here. We're going signal out into this attenuator, into the mixer. Let's see what happens. See what happens if I distort this. see how the LFO takes over when it's super low and turns it into a sine wave, which is what the LFO is producing. All right, let's just try. I just want to check the tuning. So for instance, this is C sharp with my little tuner. We would have to plug it in. Wow. It's pretty, they're pretty spot on, which makes me feel good about my little tuner that I modded. And let's check the other one. So normally I just leave this tuner like plugged into an output. That should sound a little better now. All right, let's start adding in some sounds. I have the Moog set up. Unfortunately, it is out of camera. Let's see if I can move this over a little. Probably about as good as we're gonna get there. Let's bring the and you'll see that here's the NTS-1, which I have the Mother 32 running into for effects. So let's see what that sounds like. The effects I uploaded to the unit. They're not the ones that come with the Korg NTS-1, and there's some free ones out there. They're really awesome. They have a lot of depth. I mean, it sounds like Valhalla vintage Verb. bring in the DFAM. All right. That is it. Synth is really cool. I'm really pumped. The little NTS-2 is great for visually seeing waveforms and seeing how distortion affects them, and merging waveforms really changes things. And I'm really excited to just use it just as a visual guide to understand sound. And I think that's one of the best parts about it. So thank you for hanging and listening to me jam for a second on this whole setup that I still have no idea how to use, but I'm learning. And that's a cool baseline. I might take that and record it and turn it into something for a trailer or an ad or something. So that's what it's about, in my opinion, is finding and making cool sounds, tweaking them, and then basically sampling it and making music with it. Or on the flip side, sitting here and making sounds for hours because it's just fun. And yeah, that's it. Um, Thanks for watching. Again, don't get too interested in analog stuff because it is a slippery slope, my friend. And we'll do some more live soon. The course is coming along. Just finishing the last of making a living in music scripts. So that is going to be a pretty hefty one where I'm breaking down royalties, music royalties, mechanical performance, all the things that all of us have no idea about and are so confusing and take forever to understand. So I'm trying to make a very simple way to grasp these different concepts of how you make money and get paid in music. So again, the course is coming along. I got a lot of really great content coming out. So thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for the course, Full-Time Music Creator. It's going to be coming out soon. I'm going to do a pre-release where you can get in early, give me some feedback on the content, let me know what I should add, what I should take away, what I could make better. So if you want to get involved in that, stay tuned. I'll be putting some content about that out soon. Again, thanks for watching, and as always, we out.